Okay, here we are. We're doing it again. From maiden to mother for the third time, not including my sweet angel babies, who I will never forget. Oh, I'm in what could be the last days of my pregnancy. Look at this big old belly. And I'm just taking some time to put this information out there to get you guys some idea of how I am nesting, how I'm leaning into these last few days and weeks and taking the pressure off myself to be doing all of the things and instead focusing on the things that feel good, the things that feel supportive, the things that feel kind and gentle to my heavily pregnant body. And yeah, I guess giving myself the chance to take a breath, to get excited, but also to lean deeply into those lasts. You know, the last time that I'm going to be brushing my teeth of a mumma of two boys, or with them as a mumma of two boys, the last time that I'm going to be snuggling up and reading a goodnight story to them without a baby on the boob. And I think that it's really important that we give ourselves this time. And also, like, I don't know about you, but the tears really flow for me in those last few weeks of pregnancy. It all feels a bit more real. It all feels a bit more scary. And even though countless women have done it before me, and countless women will do it after me, becoming a mama is a big deal, a very big deal. Not only have I created life, and possibly you watching this have created a life, but you've also moved through one of the biggest initiations of your own life. There are certain spiritual traditions that believe that a woman will go through 3 stages in her lifetime: maiden, mother, and crone, which is a term that may have a negative connotation in modern society, but actually the idea is that it represents a truly powerful woman who is just emanating the radiance of a lifetime of accumulated wisdom. Sounds cool to me. And then each stage is marked by a rite of passage: menstruating for the first time, giving birth to your first child, and finally the menopause. Blood being the driving force behind each stage, that first blood of initial menstruation, the blood that naturally accompanies childbirth, and the cessation of bleeding at menstruation or menopause. The stages also correspond to the 3 lunar cycles: the waxing moon, the full moon, and the waning moon. And this one might be a little too hippy-dippy for you, and that's totally okay. And it's something that, honestly, I don't allow myself much time to lean into all that often. But when you start to think about it, it's like, whoa, woof, that is big. And the idea here is that the maiden is thought to be a young girl driven by curiosity and playfulness. She's exploring sexuality for the first time and is focused deeply on her own place in the world. And as she grows into womanhood, she's going to enter the next stage, mother, where she will experience the full expression of her capacity to nurture and be compassionate. And then finally, she'll transition into the crone stage, a period of life marked by wisdom and giving back to society. The transitions from one stage to another are each significant initiations for a woman, and as established ways of being fall away to reveal a land that is yet to be discovered. When a maiden becomes a mother, she is required to really reshuffle and reprioritize her universe, placing another being at the forefront of her attention. It turns everything literally upside down. You put this little one before your own feelings, before your own desires, and this shifting of your focus propels you forward into the next chapter of your life, where old systems are promptly dismantled and new methods must be created. Things just don't look like they used to. Traditional communities understand that a mother is divine and powerful being, and she's at the peak of her receptivity, full like the moon. She has a wide open heart and is equipped with the ability to unconditionally love another. And while those early weeks of parenthood are a very real adjustment, no matter whether it's your first, second, third, fourth, or fifth baby, you are designed to incorporate new ways of thinking and feeling, to entertain and even welcome a range of emotions and ideas. And as you step fully into your role as mother, it's also important to acknowledge who you were before you gave birth, as well as who you will be at the end of your childbearing years. All three of these pieces are in you, always. You can celebrate the new, mourn what has just ended, while also reveling in the traces that still exist. So hopefully you can take those first 40 days, that first initial period postpartum, to really mind yourself, to nourish yourself, to retreat, to stay warm, to seek support, to say yes when people offer it, to rest, to maybe find some ritual. And then as those first 40 days come to a close and you may or may not start to feel like yourself or your new version of yourself again, or the next version of you, let's say, you have fulfilled that silent agreement that you made with yourself upon embarking on this period of dedicated rest and rejuvenation. You've given yourself what generations of women have had before you: a stopgap, a period of integration and adaptation between one chapter of your life and the next. And the time you spent tucked in bed, the good food you fed yourself, the space you created to adjust to this new life with your baby should have likely paid off. Good work. It's hard to do. And during this time, you are navigating unfamiliar ground, learning how to breastfeed or figuring out what to substitute with if necessary, how to soothe and rock and change your little one. Things that were once terrifying and foreign are maybe more familiar now. You are discovering reserves of patience and compassion that you didn't know you possessed, and tapped into the endless depths of a bright, clear, maternal love. And along the way, you may have bumped against frustration, loneliness, confusion, sadness, face to face with the great paradox of the postpartum period. You're probably already feeling or have felt some of these emotions in the course of one day or 1 hour. Now you may be ready to look up from the cooing bundle in your arms and turn your gaze outward. In the first 40 days, if it was your chrysalis, your safe space to get messy and to transform, you are now ready to emerge as something new, to stretch your wings and show the world the mother you have become. As this unique season of your life comes to an end, keep in mind that 40 days is a loose guideline, not a hard guideline or a finish line that must be crossed. 40 days, or about 6 weeks, is the general time frame within new mothers begin to notice that they are feeling stronger, more energized maybe, more capable and more confident in caring for their babies. But you also may find that 50 or even 60 days is your magic number, and that you are ready to move into the larger world at day 35. And there is no right time to move beyond the postpartum period, only that time that is right for you. As you embark on all that is awaiting beyond the first 40 days, you should find that you are well prepared to move forward. The things that you leaned into past 6 weeks. How to ask for help. How to cook a steaming, delicious pot of soup. How to honor your body, your mind and your heart too. How to tend to your relationship. All of these lessons will accompany you throughout your life as a parent. And while all the recipes and rituals and tips that you might have picked up along the way are designed to support those specific needs of maybe your pregnancy or your postpartum, they are not unique to the weeks after you give birth. Every way that you prepare is a wise word from an expert. Every suggestion, from maintaining your physical and emotional well-being, can continue to be carried with you. I love how at this point my husband puts something right in front of the camera and it takes me a hot minute to realize. In this video you can see that we are in that limbo. I am deep in preparation for our little one's arrival. I'm preparing all of the things. I have my freezer stocked. I've just had my beautiful blessing way, surrounded by beautiful women holding space for me, letting me literally just ugly cry for about an hour while we sat in circle together. And I'm not good at this either, you know. I pretend I am, maybe on the surface, or it looks that way from these videos, but I'm not doing it all. There's always something that's let go, and all of these insights might just give you an idea, but you have to do what's right for you. Continue to listen in. The more attention that you give that voice, that direct line of communication to your true needs and desires, the easier it's going to be. And every time you bring awareness to these tried and tested ways of coming back to what feels good for you and what you need, you are wrapping the golden rope of care around you, the one that connects women everywhere. I'm excited. I am so excited to meet my baby, and I know it will be hard. I know I'm going to need support. I know that I'm going to need to reach out for help with my baby, with my other children, with household chores, and I'm reminding myself as much as anybody that it's always okay to ask for help. People want to give this. They want to give it. For me, it's like I have to trick myself into remembering that it's a gift to be allowed to support someone in this space. And I would do my job for free because I love the feeling that it gives me. And so that's such a lovely reminder for me moving forward that even if I think I can do it all, it's a gift to somebody else to allow them to support me in this new phase. And I might find that even beyond the first 40 days, the energy that I'm giving my baby, especially if I'm breastfeeding, requires the continual stoking of that inner fire. So I plan on leaning into the 5 insights of the first 40 days. Retreat, warmth, support, rest, and a little bit of ritual, a little bit of crunchy. We like to do things a little bit hippy-dippy over here. Especially when it comes to the way that we welcome our babies. You can see here that I am setting up my space, that I am getting ready to welcome this little girl, and equally I feel like she could come tomorrow, tonight, or in like 2 weeks' time. And the unknown and leaning into that feels so tricky to me. We're so used to spending our entire lives planning things out, having everything in a calendar, knowing exactly when things are going to be from point A to point B, how much is it going to cost, how long is the timeline going to be, what's it going to look like. You can Google just about anything nowadays, and yet we have no clear guideline when it comes to motherhood. So I'm going to leave you with that as I put the final touches to my birth space. And I'm going to share with you an entirely separate video where I talk about the things that I'm doing to prepare for birth, the things that are going to help me have an empowered, educated, supported, positive birth experience, the things that I'm doing to protect my mind, my body, my space. And I can tell you right now, I am so excited to give birth again. I love birthing babies. I'm that weirdo.